Okay, here's a thought to kick things off. We tend to think of history as, this solid, fixed thing.
Right, like it's carved in stone.
Exactly. What happened, happened. But what if history wasn't like that? What if it was? Or, well, what if it could starve to death?
That is a much more terrifying idea, isn't it? We're used to gods dying in these big, epic ways.
Fire and thunder, the whole Ragnarok thing.
Yeah, a lot of drama. But the concept we're digging into today is, it's quieter. And honestly, it's way more haunting.
It suggests gods don't die from a sword.
They die from silence. They just fade away when we stop saying their names.
And that is the absolute core of our deep dive today. We are unpacking the novel When Gods Awaken by Mohit Sharma Teontha. And just looking at the cover, you can tell this is not your typical fantasy. It's got this noir fantasy vibe.
Oh, absolutely. You've got the hero on a tower, glowing chest, lightning everywhere.
And below him, it's like a sea of mist and these zombie-like figures. It's a striking image.
It's a clash. The cosmic, the stars and lightning meeting this really gritty, crumbling city. And that really sets up what the book is all about.
A world where memory is literally power.
And we're following this kid who becomes a vessel for these forgotten, starving gods.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics here, because the author builds a really unique magic system.
For sure.
We start with our protagonist, Mohit. He's just a regular kid in this nameless city full of narrow alleys, ruins. It feels very real.
Very lived in. But he's got this one thing that makes him different. He hears whispers.
And that leads us to the inciting incident in Chapter 1. He's in a dusty old bookshop.
Which is the perfect setting for a story about memory.
Right. And he hears a voice. Not a hallucination, but a plea. It's begging him, say my name.
And that's where we get the rules of the universe right up front. Like, a god needs 3 things to stay real.
3 anchors.
Memory, belief, and a name.
It's like existence is a group project. If the humans don't do their part, the god just vanishes.
And the voice makes it so urgent. It says, if you turn away, I will not last until nightfall. It's not a vague threat. It's a countdown.
So he has to act. He goes down into these sealed ruins under the city.
And the description here is so good. It's damp, the air is heavy, broken columns everywhere. It's a graveyard for gods.
But he's not alone down there. This is where we meet the first real threat, the Devourer.
The Devourer. And it feels less like a monster and more like part of the ecosystem.
Yes, that's it. It's described as a faceless shape with half-erased symbols on it.
And these black threads of shadow.
It eats forgotten things. It's like a decomposer, but for magic.
That is a great way to put it. It's a scavenger. If a god loses its anchors, its name, it becomes vulnerable. The Devourer is just there to clean up what's left.
Mohit doesn't have time to think about all that, though.
No, he doesn't.
The Devourer is attacking this faint, dying glow.
No.
And Mohit he has no weapons. He's just a kid.
But he has the name.
He shouts it, and the place just erupts.
This is our first look at the binding mechanic. The word isn't just a word, it's an activation code. Stone cracks, carvings light up.
And the Devourer is just obliterated.
Right.
But there's a cost. He doesn't just save the god.
He binds it to himself. He becomes a bearer.
And the god literally says, we are bound. And, this huge explosion of magical energy, it doesn't exactly go unnoticed.
Which brings us to the antagonists.
The antagonists. And I have to say, their name is brilliantly ironic. The Rememberers.
It's so Orwellian, isn't it? They call themselves Rememberers, but their whole job is to curate history.
By erasing the dangerous parts. The gods.
To them, these gods are just chaotic variables. They threaten stability. They want a clean, orderly, sanitized history.
And their whole look reflects that.
Yeah.
Cloaked figures, masks with these black, empty eyes.
And they use these metallic binding staffs that glow with white lines.
It's all very sterile. They're not wild sorcerers. They're like a magical SWAT team. They use traps, wards, coordinated attacks.
They're professionals. Which makes the next section, chapters 5 to 9, so tense.
Because you have this untrained kid, Mohit,
Hosting a chaotic ancient god.
going up against a disciplined, militarized force.
His learning curve is basically a vertical line. He has to figure out how to use this pulse in his chest without, blowing himself up.
That first duel in the rain-slicked alley is such a great scene for that. He knows he can't just fight them head on, so he uses the god's power over shadows.
Creates illusions, right. Double images of himself to throw off their aim.
Exactly. It's the moment he stops being just a scared kid and starts becoming a guardian.
But he knows, and the god inside him knows, that shadow puppets aren't going to be enough for long. The rememberers are escalating.
Which moves us into what I'd call the level up phase of the story. The god reveals it isn't whole.
There are fragments of other forgotten powers scattered all over the city.
This is the part of the book that really sunk its teeth into me. It's basically a scavenger hunt for superpowers.
And each location he goes to tells you a little more about the city's lost history.
We should break these down because the specific powers he gets totally change how he fights. It's not just about getting stronger.
No, it's about getting a bigger toolkit. He's shifting from pure survival to preparing for a war.
First up, the old library.
Of course. So fitting for the theme.
And in the library, he doesn't get a fireball spell. He gets the power of knowledge and instincts.
Yeah, the text says his shadows get sharper, but it feels more mental than that.
It's like he gets a form of battle precognition. He can see their formations before they move. He goes from being a drawler to a tactician.
The mind of the god. Then he goes to the sunken temple by the river.
And this one is the heavy artillery. He gets the power of storms and tides.
This is the raw elemental stuff, lightning, controlling the weather. This is what lets him finally start cracking their shields.
But think about what's happening inside him. He's mixing instinct, which is quiet and internal, with storm, which is loud and external.
These are conflicting energies inside one person, and it gets even more complicated.
It really does. Next is the Ashen Vault under a cemetery.
This one's my favorite. He gets the power of time and memory.
The description was amazing. He could feel the weight of centuries pressing in on him.
And he learns to use that. It's a defensive power. It's like he's using the weight of the past as a physical shield.
How do you even fight that?
You can't.
Yeah.
If you try to erase him, he hits you back with all of history. He becomes harder to unmake.
And he's still not done. He goes to the catacombs for more shadow power, the bell tower for the power of sound,
which lets him shatter their staffs.
and finally, the quarry for something called the Heart of the Stone.
The heart of the stone seems to be what anchors everything else. It gives him durability, but we have to talk about the cost.
Oh, the physical toll is brutal.
He is binding fire, storm, shadow, stone, and time into one human body. The book talks about his veins burning, his mind starting to fracture.
The god warns him, doesn't it? The vessel can shatter.
It's not like collecting items in a video game. It's like trying to contain a hurricane in a glass jar.
But he has no choice,
Yeah.
because the Rememberers have stopped sending small squads.
They've realized what he is, what he represents.
They sent an army.
Hundreds of them. They're not trying to capture him now. They're trying to level the whole district to get to him.
And this brings us to the climax. The city is literally at war. The visuals in these chapters, they're just cinematic.
Fires burning, that unnatural lightning splitting the sky.
You feel that sense of total encirclement. He's
Yeah.
trapped.
He's on the tallest ruined tower looking down at this ocean of enemies.
That cover image come to life.
Exactly. And he realizes that fighting them one by one, a lightning bolt here, a shadow there.
The math just doesn't work. There are too many. He needs to do something different.
He has to do something drastic. He merges them, all the fragments,
He stops trying to control them as separate tools.
and he lets them fuse. The book says he becomes the storm.
It's a total transformation.
Yeah.
The descriptions are just wild. Wings made of pure shadow.
A dome of light and darkness that covers an entire city block.
And inside that dome, he's warping reality. He isn't fighting them anymore. He's unmaking them.
And that is the perfect rebuttal to their entire philosophy, isn't it?
How so?
They wanted to erase the chaos of the gods to create order.
So he becomes the absolute avatar of that chaos.
He decimates them. Their binding stats just shatter because they can't contain that much raw, unfiltered truth, that much history all at once.
So the victory isn't really physical, it's existential.
It is. And when it's over, he's left just floating there, drenched in rain, with the power of 7 gods thrumming inside him. He won. But what did he win?
Yeah, the book leaves us with so much to think about. That central theme of memory as a weapon.
There's a line that stuck with me. Forgetting leaves doors open.
I love that line.
Yeah.
It basically says, ignorance isn't bliss, it's a vulnerability.
The Rememberers thought erasing the past made the world safer. Mohit proves that you can't just delete reality, the messy, dangerous parts of history. You have to own them, or they will own you.
And that relationship between Mohit and the god, it's totally symbiotic.
The god needs Mohit to exist. Mohit needs the god to survive. It sort of reframes our whole relationship with history, you know?
We think history is there to serve us.
Right. We learn from it. But this book suggests that maybe we serve history. We have a duty to remember it, to carry it, or it dies.
That's a heavy thought. And speaking of heavy, let's talk about that ending, because it is not a happily ever after.
Not at all. It's a classic cliffhanger. The rememberers are gone, the city is safe. For now.
For now.
But the text immediately pivots. It mentions a figure with unfamiliar power watching from the horizon.
A new, unimaginable threat. The implication is that the rememberers were just the local cops.
And now the feds are coming. It just blows the scope of the world wide open.
So bringing this back to you, listening to this, hopefully you don't have shadow devourers in your neighborhood.
Hopefully.
But what's the takeaway? Why should you care about this story?
For me, it's about cultural amnesia. Languages are dying. Family stories get lost when elders pass on.
It takes actual effort to keep the past alive.
It's an active thing, not passive. The book shows that remembering can be a fight. If you don't say the name is gone.
It really makes you want to go record your grandparents telling a story, just to anchor it.
Exactly. Be the vessel for your own history. Because if you don't, someone else, some version of the rememberers, might curate it for you.
And you might not like what they decide to cut.
Mm.
Okay, before we wrap, one last question for you. That final scene. Mohit, floating there, 7 gods inside him, staring at this new threat. Is he even human anymore?
I don't think he is, and I think that's the tragedy of it. To save his humanity, his city, he had to sacrifice his humanness.
He can't go back to the bookshop.
He is the storm now. He became the very thing the city was afraid of, all to save it.
He is the storm.
Yeah.
That's a powerful place to leave it.
A transformation you can't take back.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into When Gods Awaken. We've gone from whispers in a dusty shop
to a full-on divine war on the rooftops. A journey from silence to thunder.
I want to leave you with one last thing to think about. We talked about how these gods fade when their names aren't spoken. Flip that around. If your own memories disappeared the second no one spoke of them, what vital parts of your own life, your own history, would have already vanished into the mist?
That is a scary thought.
Who are the rememberers in your life? And what inconvenient truths might they be trying to help you forget?
Something to keep in mind.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the ruins. We'll see you on the next deep dive.
Until then.